I'm gonna leave you some space.
Nana. Thank you so much. I took the. Okay, so anybody sees Chen soon? Etty, are you going to see Chen anytime soon? I was yesterday on the kever of the Rebbe, and I brought back a candle for her. Can you give it to her? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so. אוקיי.
בדיוק היום, mariage, בדיוק היום השיעור של בת was the same.
Okay, so we're gonna start. We're gonna start by mezonot.
Exactly, the class was on that.
Okay.
If anyone has if anyone has mezonot, so it could either be a piece of cake, it could be sushis also, the rice. Yeah. No, it's mezonot, you do it on the rice. So we're gonna start by mezonot. And if you'd like, I can start and then you answer amen to my bracha. And then we're gonna go around the table. Is that okay?
100%.
Okay, thank you. We're gonna be there for one another. Okay, so I'm gonna say the bracha. Whoever is ready to say amen. Did you take that moment to focus on her?
Is this yours, Esther? Wow, nice, right? Yeah.
I'm going to introduce myself after.
Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei mezonot.
Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא מיני מזונות.
Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא מיני מזונות.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei mezonot.
Amen. Quinoa is adama. Rice is mezonot. Amen. First we do mezonot. There's an order. Marina, you're skipping. Okay. You want to take a little bit of cake or something, or after? You say after. Eti, you want to do? Baruch atah. On the sushi. Borei minei mezonot. Amen.
זה גם מזונות.
Amen. Ah, on n'a pas répondu. Amen.
Yeah, can we start with the next one? Yeah. Give us a couple.
Go.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא מיני מזונות.
Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא מיני מזונות.
Amen. Want to say?
Yeah, I don't have מזונות.
סושי מזונות.
Yeah, mezonot sushi.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא מיני מזונות.
Amen. Natalie, you want to do?
What do you guys do on the cake?
No.
Either on the cake, you can do on the cigar or the sushi. You ready? You're good, Natalie?
Yes.
It's your turn.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei mezonot.
Amen. Now, whoever wants to drink wine and didn't drink wine yet or didn't say the bracha yet,
I didn't say the bracha.
you did it.
I didn't say the bracha.
Okay, so we're going to start by our friends over there. Please focus. Les refua, shelema, Heleni Orna, Chen Chana.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי.
Amen. Anybody has wine?
Here. Red or white? Or rose?
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא כלי הגפן.
Amen. Anybody else has wine and didn't say the bracha yet? Natalie, tu veux?
I had it right.
Okay.
The wine.
So now we're going to do ha'etz. Ha'etz are the fruits from the tree. So you can take like some grapes, you can do like some almonds, cashews, pecans. Okay, so I'll start. refua shelema, Heleni Orna bat Chen Chana, Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, bore peri ha'etz.
Amen. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי העץ.
Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי העץ.
Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי העץ.
Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי העץ.
Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני מלך העולם בורא פרי העץ.
Amen. Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי העץ.
Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי העץ.
אמן.
לברכה של אלני חן
אורנה בת חן חנה.
בת חן חנה.
Amen. Amen.
לרפואת אלני אורנה בת חן חנה, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי העץ.
Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי העץ.
Amen. 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 Now we're going to do hadama. So it could be on a fruit like watermelon, it could be on salad, it could be on quinoa, it could be on beet, it could be cauliflower, לבריאות. לרפואה שלמה, אלני אורנה בת חן חנה, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי האדמה.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי האדמה.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי האדמה.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי האדמה.
אמן.
הרפואה השלמה של אלני אורנה בת חן חנה, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי האדמה.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי האדמה.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני מלך העולם בורא פרי
פרי
האדמה.
אדמה. אמן.
אמן.
רפואה שלמה של אלוהינו יעמוד בלכם חנה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי האדמה.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי האדמה.
אמן.
לרפואה שלמה של אלני אורנה בת חן חנה, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי האדמה.
אמן.
לרפואה שלמה של אלני אורנה בת חן חנה, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי האדמה.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי האדמה.
אמן. Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי האדמה.
Amen. And now shehakol, so it could be on fish, it could be on water if you didn't say hagefen. It could be. No, we didn't say shehakol yet. No. You can do on water. You can do on fish. You can do on macarons, also,
Yeah.
or on the pavlova, which is a very good choice also. Yeah. לרפואה שלמה של אלני אורנה בת חן חנה, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהכל נהיה בדברו.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהכל נהיה בדברו.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו.
אמן. 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 אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהכל נהיה בדברו.
אמן. תמי, אפשר?
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו.
אמן.
לרפואה שלמה של אלני אורנה בת חן חנה, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהכל נהיה בדברו.
Amen. Amen. Okay, great. Thank you so much. We don't see them, but they are here, and we're sending it to her. Be'ezrat Hashem, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should give her a refua shelema bekarov.
Amen.
And with your permission, we're going to say now some tehillim for her. And also, if I can add, a little boy related to my family, not directly to my family, who had a car accident last week on Wednesday, Bezrat Hashem. His name is Noah Ben Sloan. And he really needs all our tefillot also, Bezrat Hashem.
רפואה שלמה.
Amen. Anybody would like to read? I'm just going to take my glasses because I might be totally
I can read it.
Yeah? Okay. So we can read maybe two of them. And by the way, you can keep them. They're gifts.
And these are parakim special for how?
For Israel. The Rabbanim said to read those parakim for during the war. Yeah. No, for the war. So also for the protection of our soldiers, Bezrat Hashem, and Bezrat Hashem our Chatufim. You want to read?
אוקיי, זה פרקים? אוקיי, למנצח מזמור לדוד, יענך אדוני ביום צרה, יסגדך השם אלוהי יעקב, ישלח עזרך מקודש ומציון יסעדך, יזכור כל מנוחתך ועולתך ידשנה סלע, ייתן לך כי לבבך וכל עצתך ימלא, נרננה בישועתך ובשם אלוהינו נדגול, ימלא אדוני כל משאלותיך. עתה ידעתי כי יושיע אדוני משכו, יענה משמי קדשו, ובגבורות אישה ימינו. אלה ברכב ואלה בסוסים, ואנחנו בשם אדוני אלוהינו נזכיר. המה קראו ונפלו, ואנחנו קמנו ונתעודד. אדוני יושיע המלך יעננו ביום קראנו. שיר למעלות, אשא עיניי אל ההרים, מאין יבוא עזרי. עזרי מאת השם, עושה שמיים וארץ.
אדוני.
אל יתן למות רגליך, אל ינום שומריך. הנה לא ינום ולא יישן שומע ישראל. אדוני שומריך, אדוני צילך על יד ימינך. יומם השמש לא יכבה וירח בלילה. אדוני ישמרך מכל רע, ישמור את נפשך. אדוני ישמר צאתך ובואך מעתה ועד עולם.
Thank you so much. Okay, so tonight we're going to speak about marriage and why. Usually this Tuesday night class, should I maybe, you want to sit here?
Yeah, sure.
Come. Yeah. Okay. So, there's three. Okay. So, usually my Tuesday night classes are related to the Parashat Chaya. And this week we are Parashat Chaya, right? And in Chaya, obviously we're not speaking about the life of Sarah Imenu, because we're just saying at the very beginning of the parasha that Chaya died. How did she die? She died because she heard that her husband sacrificed her son, Yitzchak, and her soul left this body. This was so heavy that she couldn't hold it, and she died. Okay?
That was my son, bar mitzvah.
Yaniv, באמת? Eitan, my son Eitan also. Yeah.
He had another one, he had Lech Lecha. He studied 2 weeks before the rabbi said, no, that was the wrong one.
Wow, thank God that he's good. Wow, Hashem. So, but one of the main topic of the parasha is actually that Avraham is going to send Eliezer as a shaliach to find a zivug for their sons, Yitzchak. And therefore it's very apropos in French, to speak about Jewish marriage during Parashat Chaya. Actually, when we spoke recently, I think about a month ago with Natalie, we were speaking about the complexity of entering the Seder HaShiduchim. And then I said, you know what, that's a good topic, let's do that, like we will speak about Jewish marriage, okay? And also, like, when we speak about Jewish marriage, you'll see we'll speak also about the cement of marriage. And I'm sorry that I give you my back. I prefer standing and knees. So we're going to speak also about the cement of marriage, which is intimacy. Okay? So I don't know. So first of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Esther Sidbon. I know some of you. I've been friend with Natalie for many, many years. Baruch Hashem. As you, yeah, 20. Yeah, exactly. I read 21 years ago, so 20. And I moved from Paris, as you can tell from my French accent. And I've been working for the French. I was working for the French Chabad for 15 years. And I don't come from a religious family. I come from a traditionalist family. And then, yeah, I'm recording it. And then, Baruch Hashem, everybody has their own nisyonot in life. And I was driven to be part of the French Chabad. I grew up in Torah. I was driven to be part of the French Chabad. And then Rabbi Frankfurter asked me to start teaching. And that's how I started teaching a little bit more than 12 years ago. 2 years ago, I left the French Chabad because Baruch Hashem, we had shluchim who came and I didn't need to work there anymore. And I noticed that the thirst for Torah was not only among the French women, but also among many other women. And I had been asked by some communities to come and speak in English. I'm not very comfortable in English to start with. And now I also teach in Spanish, which I'm not also very but it's fun. And I created Lehalot. Lehalot is an organization dedicated to teaching Torah and to help women find their inner light. So we're actually located very close by, on the other side of the country club drive over there, in front of Tidal Cove. So if you know Tidal Cove, like the water park.
Oh.
So we have many classes every day, actually, from Sunday, even on Shabbat we have class. Friday is the only day I don't teach. Usually I cook like everybody else. But we have classes every day, Baruch Hashem. But now we have a midrasha, and that's why I'm speaking about it today, because in case you're interested, what is a midrasha? You have some flyers here. It's a day of learning. It's a day dedicated for women learning. And it's here on 19950 West Country Club Drive. We have a beautiful room, and we learn from 9 to 3. But some women come only for 1 hour, some women come just for lunch, and some women come for the entire journey.
I'm sorry, where are you exactly? Across from Tidal Wave, where they're building
it's in
the
a building.
Safra?
Next to the Safra. Next to the Safra. This is where my office is. And I run the meeting room every week on Wednesday, and we have all those classes.
So this is a once a week Wednesday?
It's only once a week. It's every Wednesday.
Is that Rabbi Abitbol?
Yes, that's Rabbi Abitbol. He teaches, after Orat Torah, he teaches by Zoom, Ilchot Shabbat and Ilchot Kashrut. And I was speaking with Etsy 2 seconds ago about the importance of learning the halachot. Yeah. Why? Because sometimes we're so strict with ourselves for no reason. We invent things that don't exist. The best way is really to learn. So we have classes of Musar, we have classes of inspiration, we have people who come and share. We have guest speakers every month who come and inspire women during lunches. It's a lot of fun. If you get the chance to come, really join us for 1 hour, for 6 hours, however like you can. But it's a lot of fun. I just wanted to share that with you. Okay, so we are speaking about Jewish marriage. And I was telling you, I didn't grow up religious. I grew up traditionalist. And so when I grew up with Disney. Anybody else grew up with a Disney movie here?
Most of us.
Most of us.
I love Disney.
Huh? I love Disney. Exactly. So we grew up with the idea that basically girls are princesses. There is a lonely princess who's longing for her prince charming to come and save her. And when this prince comes, saves her, obviously there's always like the bad mother-in-law or stepmother in the way, right? And then they get married and they are happily ever after. Wow, wow, wow. Biggest lie. Biggest lie ever. You get married, and what happens? You're expecting to be happy ever after. But then you have a husband, and he has a wife. And you discover the joy of getting to differences, trying to match your perception of life, right? So actually, I think many divorces today are linked with the fact that we don't have the right perception of what a marriage really should be and really is. So today I want to invite you to join me, taking out our Disney glasses, let go of the ears, right, and the bun, and try to put on. We buried them. And let's put on our Torah lenses, which are a little dirty.
I think we're all married to stardom, so it's nice. That's it. Everybody's
we
married
are.
to
We
stardom.
are.
There's not one buddy.
We are. That's it.
That's why we have to get one of the glasses.
Exactly. So I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you a question. Why do we get married?
Have children.
To have
No.
No, yeah.
Why else? Is there any other reason why we get married? I'm going to ask you someone.
Because we feel like it.
Because we feel like it. Because we want the white gown.
We want a title.
For the title, okay.
For the wedding.
Why should we get married?
So in the beginning, you want to get married because you think you're going to get married and be like in a fairy tale, exactly like you say in Disney.
Yeah.
But you think.
It's one night after years.
After
Like
it's
my
yours,
brother, everybody's very judged my mom. For my sister.
okay.
Give me a flower and I have only this stem.
At least he doesn't say the
married.
thorns.
We get married because we want to build a family. We get married because we want to live a fairy tale. We get married
Have a
because we
partner
want
for the rest of your life.
a partner for the rest of your life. What other reason can we have?
Because we're in love.
Because you're in love. Oh I'm going to tell you. We actually get married.
A lot of things that she's just got married.
Newlywed.
25 years.
Baruch Hashem. Him always in happiness. So why do we really get married? You want that answer? Why? To prove the scientific that they are totally wrong on a basic mathematic addition. 1 plus 1 doesn't equal 2, but it equals 1. This is the basic, the fundamental understanding of what marriage is. Marriage is 1 plus 1 equal 1. This is why we get
And
married.
it's coming.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Baruch Hashem. So this is why we get married. We get married to create oneness, unity, and connection between two human beings. Okay? Whether it is to multiply after or not. Marriage, according to the Torah, is two individuals that unite to become one. Okay? Where do we learn that? We learn that at the very beginning of the Torah. It's such an important topic that the Torah doesn't wait until Devarim to reveal that. In Bereshit, the first parasha of the Torah, we read that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when he creates Adam HaRishon, the first human being, what does he say to himself? He says, let's create a being in our image, right? What does he say? Our image. He could say, my image. Why? Because we say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Echad, right? He's one. So if he's one, why does he say our image? Because we have to understand one thing. Even though HaKadosh Baruch Hu is one, he is the perfect harmony between feminine and masculine. And he is composed of many parts, many attributes. We know the 13 attributes of mercy of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the perfect harmony between feminine and masculine. What does it mean? It means that Hakadosh Baruch Hu is very difficult for us to comprehend how he is. But the feminine and masculine energy are two energies that complement each other. The feminine energy is called mekabel. Mekabel is to create a space for the other, is to receive, right? To be a receiver, to create a space for the other to exist, to grow. Why the feminine energy? Look at us. What do? Even within our body, we make space for a zera, for a seed, to grow and to become life, right? What else is feminine in this world? Adama, the earth, right? It's also feminine. What does it do? You plant a seed, and what happens? A tree grows. This is the mekabel energy, the feminine energy. It means that you make space. It doesn't need to be inside of you. It's create a space, a kli to receive. Okay? This is the feminine energy. What is the masculine energy? It's mashpia. What is mashpia? It's to be a giver, right? Mashpia is the one who gives. The man is the one who has, and we'll see later on the anatomy of men when we speak about intimacy, but he is the one who gives the zera. He's the one who gives, and the woman receives. So Akadosh Baruch Hu is the perfect harmony between those two energies. He has the capacity to give and to receive, the perfect harmony. So when he says, let's create a being in our image, it means feminine and masculine in one body. So the first human being that Akadosh Baruch Hu created, Adam HaRishon, is feminine on one side, masculine on the other side, in one body. The first human being is androgynous, right? Nothing to do with the woke system today. It has nothing to do, okay? It's not ambiguous. It is just one side feminine, one side masculine in one body, right? But then something happens. What happens? Hakadosh Baruch Hu tells Adam HaRishon, come and see the creature that I created for you. You are the master of this world, and you have to see all the creatures that I created for you. And you have to name them, because you have the same power as me to speak and to create with your words, with your speech. And so what happens? Hakadosh Baruch Hu brings Adam HaRishon, so feminine and masculine, like that, right, in front of the zoo of the creation. And then you have Mr. and Mrs. Ant that are coming, and he names them Mr. and Mrs. Ant, Mr. and Mrs. Giraffe. Oh, you are Mr. and Mrs. Giraffe, Mr. and Mrs. Elephant, and so on and so on and so on. And then he thinks, because he's smart. Remember, he has the wife inside, like the. He thinks, and he says, why do all the other creatures have a female body for the female energy and a male body for the male energy? Doesn't make sense. Why am I alone? I too would love to have another person who I can hug in moments of joy, who I can dance with, who I can sometimes confront my reality with. I don't want to always have the same perception of life than my wife, because if we're in one body, we experience exactly the same thing. And so he goes to Hakadosh Baruch Hu and he says, Hakadosh Baruch Hu, I also want another. I want to be in two different bodies. And so Hakadosh Baruch Hu says, it's true. It's not good that men be alone. Let's create an Ezer Kenegdo. And maybe we'll go back on that topic after. And therefore, Hakadosh Baruch Hu proceeds to the first surgery of humanity. Obviously, like he's going to numb Adam HaRishon, who doesn't like to be, men, they don't like to be hurt, right? So he's creating like a special, the Midrash says that he's spreading his talit, but his spiritual talit, HaKadosh Baruch Hu's spiritual talit, on top of Adam HaRishon, right? And he's going to separate the feminine part to shape it into Chava, right? This feminine part is Chava, now separated, and the Midrash says that he beautifies her, like he brushes her hair and he braids her hair, and he brings her, like a Abba brings his daughter to the chuppah, under the talit, and he's going to wake up Adam. And Adam Arishon wakes up, and he sees who in front of him?
The most beautiful girl in the world.
Yes, you're right. She
That's
was
what
the
she
most
says,
beautiful
right?
girl in the world, Chava.
And she was naked too.
She was. That's the question. They didn't actually have. They didn't have a skin yet, but they were have spiritual beings at that moment. They didn't have yet the skin. But what did he see? He see himself. Because 2 seconds ago, even though it was not 2 seconds ago exactly, but the moment before, they were one. And so he sees himself in front of himself. And he says, wow, Zot apam. This is the flesh of my flesh. This is the bones of my bones. But this is she. And this is Chava, right? And this is a moment, very, very weird moment, when the Torah speaks to somebody else. We don't know. You know, like the Torah tells us a story, and suddenly the Torah says, right after this moment, when they get together, right, HaKadosh Baruch Hu marries them under this spiritual talit, and the Torah says, and this is why when a man marries a woman, he leaves the house of his parents to cling with his wife and become one flesh, right? That's so weird, because right now they don't have parents. You know that I always joke with my kids, who are the human beings who didn't have a belly button? Adam and Chava. If we go to Hebron and check, they didn't have a belly button because they were not born from a mother. They were created by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So who are we talking to? HaKadosh Baruch Hu is talking to us. This is the first marriage of the universe. And he's telling us, listen, you were created as one. I then separated you in two bodies. But you know, your destination is to be one. Lebasar echad. To be one flesh. So basically, what is a marriage? According to the Torah, it's two pieces of a puzzle that become reunited. This is what happens under the chuppah. The two neshamot are getting reunited as one. And our job is to make sure that we are also united as one in this world. But it's much more complicated in this world. Why? Because we said that everything was created. So when HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, he didn't only create Adam Arishon in his image, that is both masculine and feminine in one body. He also created the world with feminine attributes and masculine attributes. Everything that he created has a feminine or a masculine attribute, okay? And us women, we're very sensitive to the feminine attribute in everything. It's as if like we could see more what is feminine in something or some situation. And men, on the other way, they are more sensitive to masculine attributes, right? So we're going to say like some things are obviously more masculine or more feminine, okay? And that's why in Hebrew, contrary to English, you have feminine and masculine in the language, right? And I don't like it, again, like Adama, for instance, like is feminine and has this ability to receive this energy of Mekabel. And the rain, for instance, is masculine and is what gives the water that enriches the earth and enables it to grow. So everything that you will find has a feminine or a masculine, always because it has this energy within it, okay? So why is it that the first year of marriage is not always so smooth? Why is it that the first year of marriage we're not happily ever after, right? And sometimes it's not only the first year of marriage, it can continue for many years. Why? Because
We're learning.
because we sometimes are not open to learn that there is another perception, there is another reality that I cannot see, but that my husband is going to bring to me. Actually, a man, when he becomes married, he becomes complete. He becomes shalem, whole, right? We understand that because a piece of his puzzle was separated. When he gets married, he becomes a new being, okay? And whole, entire, shalem. So, but for him to become shalem, he has to accept that the other part comes with its own particularity, and so do we, right? So I'm going to give you an example. If I tell you, Orit, what do you see exactly here? And can you describe it for me?
I can't see that far.
Okay. Don't open. What do you see? Just see.
I see a flame.
You see a flyer.
Yeah,
Which color is it?
blue and gold.
Okay. And it says what? You said Midrasha Orot Nejma. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, I don't agree with you. This is not the reality. Because my reality is that I see that it's a white flyer with little QR codes and many lines. It has nothing to do with what you said. Is she right? Am I wrong? Or am I right and is she wrong? We're both right. That's exactly like that in a couple. So many times we're both right. But we just don't understand that the other one doesn't perceive the world the same way as we do. Right? I'm going to give you an example. Let's take this example of, let's take a parable. Imagine that Hakadosh Baruch Hu, instead of giving like feminine and masculine attributes, had shared the 5 senses between men and women. Let's say that women, we can listen, touch, and smell, and men can see and taste, okay? And we go to Best Buy to buy a fridge. The woman is gonna say, because she can't see, but she can listen, and she can touch. She's gonna find the best fridge that is soft and that is so quiet. But her husband is gonna say, yeah, it's horrible. I don't like it at all, right? Because what does he see? He can see something different. So we are exactly like that in our perception of the reality. It's as if we didn't have the same senses, right? But together, we see the real reality. But in order for us to achieve that level of oneness, we have to accept that what he's saying might be right. And that is tough. Because naturally, as women, we are right. So how can you be right if I'm right? Okay. So we have to understand that marriage. How many years have you been married?
6 months.
6 months. Baruch Hashem, you're in the middle of it. It's perfect.
It's better for you to learn all this now, so you go in. You're better equipped than we were. It's better.
You have more knowledge.
Okay.
Can you actually say that any of the couples in the Torah were one? Because it didn't seem that way.
So look, this week, for instance, we're speaking about Sarah and Abraham, right?
But they look like they were on 2 separate.
What? Really? So I'm gonna show you that actually they are the best. You know, when we read Eshet Chayil every Friday night, right? Every Shabbat evening we read Eshet Chayil. There is a beautiful midrash that tells us that each pasuk of the Eshet Chayil corresponds to a woman of the Tanakh. And very interestingly, the first pasuk corresponds to Abraham and Sarah. So not to a woman, but to a couple. And that Midrash explains to us that Abraham and Sarah were the perfect couple because they were partners in life.
Yeah, that's what I know.
And actually, I hear that you're saying, for instance, like, yeah, but at some moment, like Sarah is going to fight to push away the Na'al of, right, of Adar, but he listens to her. Hashem tells him, Shema Bekola, okay, listen to her voice, like it's so, she is saying the truth. She's connected to me in a way that you are not connected. And believe me, even if you as a father have this material, because we have to remember, Adam Arishon was created from Adama. Therefore, men are really more connected, attracted, and sensitive to everything that is material, everything that is sensorial. Us as women, we were created from a being who had already received the neshama. And what is a neshama? It's a chelek elokam ima'al mamash, meaning that it's a part of Hashem. So it's a divine spark, right? It's inside, it's a part of God inside. So since we were created from a being who was already a little spiritual, a little bit more spiritual, we perceive the world in a very different way. We're not so sensitive to the sensorial world. We are very sensitive to the emotional world. We don't fall in love of a man because of his muscles. Okay? We fell in love with a man because he's sensitive, because he makes us feel good about ourselves, because he has a listening ear, because he is funny, because so many things, but it's not because of his muscles. Maybe we can think, oh, wow, but no. But we would not want to get married with someone because of the muscle. You want something different. You perceive an emotional connection with that person. And that's also one of the reasons why we're not speaking about Tarat HaMishpacha tonight, about family purity, but this is also a reason why HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided to create those 11 or 12 days of Nida, in order for the woman, it's a gain for the woman, in order for the woman to have the opportunity to connect with her husband on an emotional way, not physical way. The laws of Achakot, the laws of separation during Nida, are here only to help the men not be triggered by the senses. I give classes to prepare kalot, but I also give classes of refresher classes for women. If you're ever interested, you can contact me. But the idea is really to understand that this period is a period of emotional connection, regaining the friendship, the mental connection that is not possible for a man to offer to his wife if he is sensorial with her, if he touches her, if he smells her perfume that reminds him. Why? Because he was created from Adama. So he is like the power of the magnet that attracts him to desire when those senses are stimulated. It's something that we cannot comprehend. We don't have that. We don't have that. The same way that you can hear a certain story. Hey, how are you? The same way that we can be crying about something and our husbands are going to be like, why are you crying like that? Do you know that person? Why are you holding that pain within you for so long? Sometimes we'll think about something that happened, and 2 days after we're still with that in our heart, and our husband like, still, but no, you don't even know that person. Let go. You can't let go, because this is how you're connected. This is how you're built. You're an emotional person. This is how you connect to the world, right? This is part of the feminine particularity and energy. So knowing that, right, we need to understand that men and women, I don't know what the question was.
Oh, which couples in the Torah?
Yeah. So Sarah Imenu and Abraham Avinu are actually partners in everything that they do. They're really like, for instance, we see it when HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes the Brit with Abraham, and Abraham really like circumcises himself, right? And 3 days after, he sends him Malachim. Hello, how are you? Ça va et toi? On n'a pas abordé. Ils vont entendre après le Non, non, mais c'est juste parce qu'il y a des trucs qui sont pas OK pour les enfants. Non, mais là pour le moment, c'est bon. Hein?
Non, ok. Mais c'est sûr qu'ils vont aller.
C'est juste, non, I'm just like, sinon on fait pas les No, there's nothing crazy. They're going to learn it at one point, but it's not the age. Okay. So we're not at that point yet in that, but we're getting there. So there he's actually sending him 3 malachim, these guys in Bedouins or travelers, and what at the moment Abraham sees them and welcomes them, what does he do? He goes and runs to his wife. Let's go, let's take action, okay? And she prepares the meal in order to host and to do achnasat orchim, okay? So, yeah. So it's very important. No, they were always connected, even though an ezer kenegdo is not always on the way. Sometimes it's kenegdo, meaning like sometimes we're against.
Right.
But why? In order to extract the best, in order to push ourselves. And it's true for the men also. The husband is there, and sometimes we tend to see it as a nisayon, because sometimes it's tough. It doesn't go always like, it's not, nobody's perfect. Happily ever after doesn't exist besides in Disney movies. So there are ups and downs in all couples. It's normal. We have to understand the moments that are down are moments where we feel pain. Why? Because this is a moment where we need to open. And how do we open? We have to get a little bit of brokenness. And when we feel that brokenness, because there's nothing more painful than feeling a dichotomy between your husband and yourself. It's very difficult sometimes, and it happens in life, right? But at that moment, the heart opens. And when you open your heart, that's when you can let the other one in. And many times, in moments of brokenness, this is when we grow. You know, just like a seed, when you plant a seed, my grandma used to be was a very, very good gardener. And when we were little, she taught us how to plant like vegetables and stuff like that. And when you plant a seed, you plant let's say like a seed that is round like that and whole, right? And you plant it and you water it and you speak to it if you believe that it's going to help it grow. But you know what happened to that seed before it germinates?
First it's ruined.
Exactly.
It's what?
It rotens, it breaks down in order to grow. This is how HaKadosh Baruch Hu made it happen. Even the laws of love between Hashem and Am Yisrael, which are the luchot, right? The luchot represent the ketubah between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and us. Even that was broken. The first luchot were shattered because there was a treason at one point. Am Yisrael cheated on HaKadosh Baruch Hu when they were just married, and then after many days of negotiating, Moshe Rabbeinu obtained that HaKadosh Baruch Hu forgave us, and he came back with a second set of luchot, and the second set of luchot is placed in the same place as the pieces, broken pieces of the first luchot. In the Aron HaKodesh, that was in the Kodesh HaKodeshim. We're going to speak about it in a few minutes. What does it mean? It means that there is no love, there is no oneness, if there is no brokenness at one point. And it's okay. It's weird to say end, because we want to say but no, it's end. Because we have to hold the two realities. Marriage is about opening ourselves, allowing the other one to be vulnerable, being vulnerable, letting the other one inside, and holding a reality that is not exactly the one that I thought as an individual. Now that I'm complete, I can see the world in two perspectives. Okay? Letting the other one inside, becoming one flesh. This happens during intimacy. And that's why we are now going to turn off the video.